Ladies and gentlemen, I am finally back, and in today's video, we are going to do a Denver Broncos 7-round mock draft. And when you're watching this, you might be thinking, well, why are you doing a mock draft right now? If you're watching this, it's either going to be on Saturday, the 26th of November, or Sunday, the 27th of November, and you're like, well, Parker, there's a bunch of NFL games going on either today or tomorrow, so why are you doing it right now and not waiting for the updated order? Well, I did this a couple days ago. I forgot to record it, so I'm recording it now, and then I'm going to upload it. However, I will do another mock draft after this week's games passes when we get the updated NFL draft order, just because, I like to have things up to date. So this is going to be up to date as of last week. I can't remember exactly what week we're going into right now. I guess we can look at it. It's not taken into account the Thanksgiving games, okay? Thanksgiving games started this week. It's not taken into account those. It's everything before the Thanksgiving games. But with that being said, as always, I hope you enjoy the video. And as always, I want to remind you that Jesus is King. I just pray that you give your life to him. He's got a plan and a purpose for you. And I just truly hope you accept him as your Lord and Savior and believe with your whole heart that he died on the cross for your sins. And if you truly believe that with your whole heart, then you'll go to heaven. It's that simple. It's that easy. And as a Christian, I do feel it's important to share this message with as many people as possible, because I can get a large-ish audience coming in and spread the word and plant the seed about the gospel to people that may have never heard it before. And that's why I feel I want to use my platform, the small platform that I have for this. And of course, with that being said, let's jump into the mock draft. And I do actually have a trade. So I do expect the Broncos to make a trade at some point in the draft to get more picks, with, of course, us not having a second-round pick. So the trade I have is the Giants trading up to 20th overall. So we receive the 28th, so we're moving back 8 spots, and we receive the Giants' third-round pick, which is 89th overall. So we would end up having 3 third-round picks now. If we wanted to trade up back into the second, we could, or if we wanted to use those 3 third-round picks, we could as well. But George Paton loves his picks, so I do expect him to most likely trade back in this year's draft. And I don't hate the idea, because I was sitting there at 20, and the majority of the top tackles were off the board. Paris Johnson Jr., Peter Skoronski, Broderick Jones, even Olu Fashanu was off the board. So I traded back and picked up an extra third, and I have a selecting DeWand Jones, the other offensive tackle out of the Ohio State University. He's 6'8", 359 pounds, and him and Paris Johnson Jr. make one heck of a tandem. I do believe he plays right tackle for the Buckeyes, whereas Paris Johnson plays left tackle, and I think with us having a revolving door at right tackle, we need to address the offensive tackle at some point in this draft. Would I love a Paris Johnson Jr.? Yeah, absolutely. Paris Johnson's my number 1 tackle. I just don't see us getting either Paris Johnson Jr. or Peter Skoronski without trading up. I think there's a small chance that if we stay put at 20, we could pick up someone like a Broderick Jones or an Olu Fashanu. But if we trade back, I think DeWand Jones would be an ideal fit. There's a couple guys, but I like the DeWand Jones out of that group. Then we move, of course, to the third, since we do not have a second-round pick this year, and I have selecting John Michael-Schmitz, center out of Minnesota. He's 6'4", 320 pounds, and listen, I like Lloyd Cushenberry. Is he the greatest center? No, I think he's in that middle tier of centers. However, when you think about it, Graham Glasgow's contract expires soon. Lloyd Cushenberry, next season is his last season under his rookie deal. And frankly, I don't know if George Paton will bring back Lloyd Cushenberry. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But we do need to address the center position. Of course, we do have Luke Wattenberg, who was a 5th-round pick, and that was his position at Washington. I don't know how much I love him at center, though. I do, however, love John Michael-Schmitz at center. I think he's a fantastic center for the Golden Gophers, and I would like for the Broncos to pick him up. He can be the backup to Cushenberry, or shoot, he can even compete for the starting job next year against Lloyd. Or, Lloyd gets the job, and the next season, him and Luke Wattenberg battle it out for the starting center position. But it can never hurt to have too many offensive linemen I mean, we found out from experience with how many offensive linemen are getting hurt this season. You can never have enough linemen. Then with our next pick, 77th overall, I have us selecting a DeMarvion Overshown linebacker out of Texas. To me, this is one of the best linebackers in the draft. If you don't get someone like a Trenton Simpson in the first round, to me, DeMarvion Overshown, he can do it all, and he was very productive at Texas. You look in all 38 games he's played, he has 129 total tackles, 106 assist tackles for 235 total tackles. He has 28 and a half tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 15 passes defended. So he can do it all. He can help stuff the run. He can help rush the passer. He can drop back into coverage. He can do it all. I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos needed to trade up into the second round, or potentially maybe even trade back in the first to get this guy. I don't think it would be the first, just because the value of inside linebackers has kind of dropped over the past few years. But DeMarvion Overshown is one of my favorite prospects in this draft, and I would really like the Broncos to go ahead and pick him up. Next, with the third round pick we got from the trade with the Giants, I have us selecting one of my favorite cornerback prospects out of Stanford, Kyu Blu Kelly. He is one of the best corners in the Pac-12. Of course, you know, he's not the best with Christian Gonzalez balling out there in Oregon, but Kyu Blu Kelly is really good out of Stanford. In 37 games, he has 111 solo tackles, 36 assist tackles for 147 total tackles. So he's not afraid to get up there and go and tackle. And that's what we like. Broncos cornerbacks need to be able to tackle, not shy away and actually tackle the the guy with the football. So he's not afraid to do that. Plus, he's really good in coverage. 3 interceptions, 23 passes defended at Stanford. I think he's a very solid cornerback. And I know a lot of Broncos fans are like, well, why would we address cornerback? Well, here's the thing. Of course, you know, you got Pat Surtain, but Pat Surtain and Damari Mathis are going to be the only cornerbacks on that we have on the team right now that will be under contract in 2 years' time, because Ronald Darby, K'Wan Williams, Isang Basim, even Michael Ojemudia, all their contracts will be expired. So I would expect we might bring a cornerback in through free agency. I really like Amani Oruwariye, but that's a topic for a different video. Amani Oruwariye plays for the Lions, by the way, in case you didn't know. But I would like us to draft a corner, because I like what Damari Mathis has done. He started to emerge as a solid corner. I would like him maybe he can play in the slot, and then you have Kyu Blu Kelly and Pat Surtain on the outside. It may not seem like a big need right now, but in a few years, cornerback will be a need for the Broncos. And while instead of waiting for that need to creep up and appear, why not just address it and have another cornerback? I mean, you guys have guys like Fionn Hicks on your practice squad, but I don't know. I think I would rather have Kyu Blu Kelly. He's one of my favorite cornerback prospects this year. You know, a lot of you knew that I liked Alontae Taylor last year. This year, it's Kyu Blu Kelly for me, my favorite cornerback prospect to get in the middle rounds. Next up in the 4th round, I have us selecting Chase Brown, running back out of Illinois. Now, again, you guys might be saying, well, why would we draft a running back? We got Javonte. We got all these other guys. Well, we got Javonte, but he's probably not going to be able to return until the middle of next season. And then Melvin Gordon, we obviously cut. Latavius Murray is going to be a free agent. Marlon Mack is going to be a free agent. And Mike Boone is going to be a free agent. So it's really going to be Javonte Williams and Chase Edmonds under the running back room if we don't bring any of those guys back, or if we don't bring anybody else in. So I would have us addressing the running back and have Chase Brown out of Illinois. So we would have, while we wait for Javonte to come back, we would have a tandem of Chase Edmonds and Chase Brown. Now, maybe we bring back Latavius Murray. I think Latavius Murray or Mike Boone would be the most likely we bring back. And I wouldn't be shocked, but we don't know what's going to happen in free agency. That's why this is a mock draft, and we got to wait until what happens after free agency. So as of right now, I do have us bringing in a running back, a young running back. And then in the future, we can have a nice young running back tandem of Javonte Williams and Chase Brown. In 43 games with the Illini, he has 657 rush attempts for 3,497 yards, averaged about 5.3 yards per carry, and 17 touchdowns. Next up in the 5th round, I have selecting KJ Henry, edge out of Clemson, and I know we got that a lot of edge depth. I was thinking about addressing the safety position, but I was thinking to myself, well, I don't really think we'll draft a safety because we got Justin Simmons, and yeah, I don't expect Kareem Jackson to come back again, but I really like Caden Stearns filling in for that role. And then you look behind them, we have Delarian Turner-Yell, who we drafted in the 5th round last year. And then we also have PJ Locke, who I think the Broncos really like. So we'll have to see maybe if they don't bring any of those guys back, maybe they address the safety here. But as of right now, I have us addressing the edge depth, which has kind of hurt us a little bit this season. Of course, we got Randy Gregory, Nick Benito. You got Baron Browning. You got Jonathan Cooper, but I like adding to that depth and adding the edge rusher or a edge rusher from the Clemson Tigers because they got Myles Murphy as well in KJ Henry. And in 45 games played, he has 60 solo tackles, 51 assist tackles, 111 total tackles. He has 27.5 tackles for loss and 12.5 sacks with the Tigers. And next up, with our final pick in the 6th round, I was selecting Dorian Thompson-Robinson, a.k.a. DTR, quarterback out of UCLA. And this might be one of my more controversial picks, but I love the upside of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He has the ability to scramble, use his legs, pick up the first down, but he also has the ability to throw it. However, I think he's a little bit raw, so developing under a guy like Russell Wilson wouldn't be bad. Now, I do expect, obviously Russell Wilson's going to be the Broncos starter for the next few years, but say down the road, they get a top pick, say I guess it wouldn't be next year, say in 2 years' time, they get a top pick, they're able to select, say, J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. I think they go with him, but as of right now, I like Dorian Thompson-Robinson out of UCLA. I think he's got a lot of upside. If something happens to Russ, he can fill in and he kind of plays the same style of football. Don't get me wrong, I love Brett Rippon. I've been a big Brett Rippon fan since we signed him as an undrafted free agent. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson, like I said, he has a lot of upside as a quarterback prospect, and I like the idea of that upside. So to me, I think maybe we'll take a shot on the quarterback prospect in the later rounds, see what can happen. And if he doesn't pan out, it's no worries. It's a 6th round pick. So, yeah, it is what it is, but I love the upside, like I keep saying, of Dorian Thompson-Robinson. In 47 games with the UCLA Bruins, he has 823 completions on 1,305 passing attempts. He's passed for 10,235 yards, 85 touchdowns to 33 interception, and he has a passer rating of 145.4. Well, that is my mock draft. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comment section below. I will be coming out with a lot more videos. I'm trying to be back, posting more like I did a few months ago. So yeah, make sure to leave a like. I have a full 1st round mock draft coming out after Sunday, I guess tomorrow's games. So it won't include Monday's game when that draft order updates. And then I'll have another 7-round Broncos mock draft. I might do something where I do 3 mock drafts, one where we stay put, one where we would potentially trade up, or one where we trade down and just kind of see the different options. But we'll have to see when the time comes. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed. My name is Parker. Peace out.